What's up, friend? Welcome back on our channel. I am Y311 Page. This is not just a reaction video, it's a moment to notice what others scroll past. Because, my friend, I've been seeing things, strange things, and it feels like reality has a crack on it. We shall be diving through some of those things together. But first, let's feed our souls and give ourselves strength before we begin the show. And today, we shall read a word from the book of wisdom, specifically from John chapter number 4 and from verse 18 going down. Hear what it says. I am one who testifies for myself. My other witness is the Father who sent me. Then they asked him, Where is your Father? You do not know me or my Father. Jesus replied, If you knew me, you would know my Father also. Interesting. We believe in that wonderful Father. Let's say a short quick prayer before we dive in. Thank you, wonderful Creator of heaven and earth, for this beautiful day. Thank you for your breath in us and your adorable, precious child, today's viewer that have joined us, Father. We give you glory for that. Today we humble ourselves, Father, and uplift your name, dear Lord. As we come before you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we pray that you might guide us through the videos, Father. Help us to spread love and peace together with your child, dear Father, and help us to unite the whole world and remind them of your goodness. And as we do so, intervene in this viewer's life, Father. Reveal yourself to them in miraculous ways, Father. And through this episode, may you transform their lives, Father. Help them carry all their burdens and lead them in your paths always, Father. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's get in, my friend, and take a look at the videos we have.
What's a piece of movie propaganda you just aren't buying into? This thing about Avatar being the biggest box office movie of all time, I just don't believe it. Something's not right. The math ain't mathin'. Movies are a huge part of my life. I talk about them as a job. I have this account. I have a podcast dedicated to movies. I literally never encounter another human being in real life or on the internet who wants to discuss this film. And I almost never encounter someone who's even seen both of these movies. And yet they are supposedly the first and third highest grossing films of all time. Nobody talks about these movies. Nobody ever quotes them. They're never referenced anywhere in popular culture. There's no memorable scenes or moments from the movie that people talk about. There's no memes about these movies. No, internet humor related to either of these movies. Look at these other movies up here on this list. Excluding Ne Zha 2, which is a Chinese animated film that's currently in theaters, everybody talks about these other movies and references them all the time. There's still theater reaction videos all over the internet from Endgame and No Way Home of Doctor Strange's little circle and seeing the other Avengers come out. I teach children that were born 15 years after Titanic came out. And even those kids know Titanic, and they joke oh, Jack could have fit on the door. The only thing I ever hear about this movie on the internet is the story that Matt Damon tells about turning down 10% of the gross because he couldn't be in the movie. How he jokes that he's turned down more money as an actor than probably any actor in history. And that's a story about Matt Damon. That has nothing to even do with the movie. The only thing you need to know about Avatar to enjoy that story is how much money Avatar made. Something's not right. I just feel like something isn't right. I know the 3D ticket prices were higher. I know inflation and ticket prices in general. I know both movies were really big in international markets like China and India, but I still just feel like something isn't right. Why does nobody ever talk about this movie?
Rockets, they didn't drown or ride the Titanic all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. You see, unlike what happened to that tugboat in Nigeria, the Titanic didn't sink in 100 feet of water. The water where the Titanic sank is around 12,500 feet deep, or roughly 3,800 meters. There is no way an air pocket can survive at those depths. There is simply no way. So what would happen to someone in the ship going down that deep? Well, you would suffer through what is known as an implosion, and it would happen extremely quickly. You see, around 10 or 20 seconds after the Titanic stern section left the surface, the survivors in the lifeboat said they heard what they thought was an underwater explosion. And some of them even said they felt the ocean vibrate a little bit after this event happened. What these survivors thought were explosions were in fact implosions. Implosions occur when the outward water pressure is pushing in on an air pocket so much that the structure the air pocket is in, it can't.
If aliens exist, they will be working off the same elements, because this is it. Saying that other elements could exist is true, but that's usually a misunderstanding of how this table is arranged. This is what stars make, in roughly the order they make it. Grossly summarized, hydrogen is first, and starts nuclear fusion by fusing together to make helium, which is second. The 1 and 2 in the top left corners is the number of protons. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, until you get up to 118, which is the farthest we've gotten so far. There's nothing missing in here because there are no 2.5s or something. That would be like half a proton and an electron, and that makes no sense in this context. What could possibly exist is elements past this, something with like 119 protons or more. But that means they're heavy and probably unstable. Some of these larger elements aren't even found in nature. We manhandled them into existence. For context, gold is only 79 protons, and it's actually really hard for the universe to make this. It requires an insane explosion or like 2 neutron stars colliding. The gold we have is from before the solar system even existed. So when you get to like 118 protons, it's just getting ridiculous. Because remember, for life to be made of a thing, there needs to be enough of it for beings to consume and exist off of. It's the chemical reactions that are the real mystery. We know what happens when oxygen floats as a free agent versus when it combines into O2, but we don't know how all these things play together under all circumstances. That's the mystery. Not does life have oxygen, because it's the 3rd most common element in the universe, so everyone probably has it, but what are the reactions happening out there with all those things? That's why the discovery of dimethyl sulfide on K218b is so interesting. It's essentially a fart, and as far as we know, only living things can do that. That's where we have so much to learn, and it's pretty exciting.
If I could please bring by some of the books that they removed from the Old Testament. So I have the Old Testament Pseudepigrapha Volume 1 and Volume 2. Alright, and this contains a lot of information about UFOs, the race of giants, the Titans, Kronos, many things. It goes heavily into the Antichrist, what he will look like, the things he'll do. He'll have his own fleet of UFOs. All right, and how the actual galactic battle is going to take place, where it's going to take place. It goes into backing up what if you read the New Testament, Revelations about war in heaven, and Satan, the dragon, was cast down. Okay, well, this is the Old Testament, which means it comes before the New Testament, and in here it gives you the full detail about the actual battle itself that took place, and he was kicked out, and of course they came here to Earth before our time. And now here we are here, and one of the responsibilities that we had for coming here is to be what you will call their prison wardens. We're supposed to keep them in check, but somehow they flipped it around and now they've got us running crazy. And they've got us in prison down here. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. So when you hear some people talk about Earth in part being a slightly penal colony, well, yeah, that's true, but it all depends on who you're talking about. We wasn't sent here to be prisoners. They were. We were sent here to contain them.
Check out the size of this mushroom that I just found, son. Wait. I just found it. It's like the biggest mushroom I've ever seen in my life. That's my shoe beside it, right? That's the size of the mushroom. What? I'm sorry, what? What in the gigantic is this? There's more here. There's another one there. It's not like out yet.
Something about boys. This is something we really need to understand about our boys. From 0 to 6 years old, they really need their mom's gentleness, their support, their love, their comfort. They're little boys. But from 6 to 14, dads, you really got to step up. This is where you start teaching them, because you're the biggest influence in their life from 6 to 14. You're teaching them how to be men. You're teaching them how to be tough. You're teaching them how to treat women. You're teaching them so many things that they are watching you. They want to be like you. It's so important. But guess what? From 14 to 21, their peers are the most important. So if moms, you don't play your role between 0 to 6, and dads, you don't play your role from 6 to 14, when they get to 14 and they start depending on their peers, can you imagine why some people are really struggling with their kids as teenagers? You need to be a very strong force in their life from 0 to 14. Come on, moms and dads, we have got to step up. We got to be the leaders of our family. It's critical that we teach them before they get to be teenagers. It gets hard after that. So have a blessed day.
Somebody come look at this.
You was right. This is a Bone Cannon product. It's a good product. 1, 2. We got this nice bone. But see, this is fine. This is fine.
No refrigeration, nothing.
Fat from cock floor. See, this is fat from cock floor. See? Fat and skin that is basically
And
fat.
people still don't wash their feet.
They're going to charge you for this combo with like 50, 60 pounds. All those are frozen. And this is probably 90% fat. Fat.
Lord have mercy on your children.
More fat from the loins.
This is sad.
From top floor. See? Fat. This is good. We need to return this one to cold side. Fat. They bring it in cold.
Here we have a soundtrack played forwards.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I'm going to play this in reverse for you at 3 speeds, okay? Progressively slower speeds. When Neil Armstrong says his famous first words, that's one small step for man, a speech reversal occurs that says man will spacewalk. I'll play it for you first and then I'll tell you the significance of what I think this means.
Man will spacewalk. Man will spacewalk.
Can you all hear that?
Man will spacewalk.
Now all I'm doing is playing the tape backwards. Here it is forwards
Small step for man.
and in reverse.
Man will spacewalk.
Okay. So, as Neil Armstrong, incidentally, I wonder how many of you are aware that Neil Armstrong actually had a prepared script. He was supposed to say that's one small step for a man, but he left out the A and said that's one small step for man. One of the interesting things that we've noticed about reverse speech is that speech reversals will frequently occur in the pauses and mispronunciations of speech, the ers and the ahs, the rapid tonal inflections. If you ever sit down and listen to someone talking for even 2 or 3 minutes, just intently listen to them, and you'll notice that their speech is full of inconsistencies. I mean, I've rarely come across anyone who can talk in a very monotone voice for a long period of time without slipping up. And it is the tonal inflections in our speech that create speech reversals. One of the things that we've discovered about reverse speech is that we believe reverse speech to be a right brain hemispheric function. It's been thought by many that the right brain hemisphere is dormant in active verbal communication. Many linguists will tell you that the dialogue formation of speech comes from the left brain hemisphere. The tonal inflection we put into speech comes from the right brain hemisphere. One of the common things about reverse speech is that as right brain hemispheric activity increases, so does the occurrence of speech reversals. In a monologue speech situation like I'm talking right now, where I have said these lines in front of audiences hundreds of times before, they're almost memory off pat, you would find reversals about once every 60 seconds because it's a pre-prepared script already running in my brain. And we get into normal, natural conversation, the occurrence of reversals will increase to once every 10 or 15 seconds. In a heated argument between a husband and wife or friends, as right brain hemisphere is really clicking in, then speech reversal will occur once every 2 or 3 seconds. What is actually happening is that as we are creating the sounds of our speech, we are creating them so that two parts of our minds are communicating well, actually there's multiple parts, so let's just stick with 2 parts. But we are communicating from at least 2 different areas, forwards consciously and in reverse unconsciously.
شو هاد؟ لا خدعة يمكن شكلها مو حقيقية هاد. معقول يعني؟ مش ممكن شكله بربيش مي هاد. لو سمحتي شو اسمك؟ يخرب بيتك شو بدك مني؟ ابعد عني ابعد عني يخرب بيتك خلص ما عاد اسرق فيديوهات ولا ادبج فيديوهات ولا اعمل ولا شيء خلص انا اسف. شو هاد؟ وينك؟ شو هاد كلها تعب يخرب بيتك ابعد عني شو هاد؟ انت اصلا جبانه انت اللي بتسرق البيض من العشاش من عشاش العصافير المساكين. والله لا خلي صار بس يكبر ياكلك. انا عندي 7 صقور في البيت يا جبانه.
Sometimes actors don't want to eat meat, so I cut up some watermelon to look like a steak. Then I grabbed some caramel coloring and mixed it with some water and brushed it on. Now once I got it covered in brown, it looked good, but I felt like something was missing, so I grabbed some black food coloring and started making char marks all around the edges, and I think it really helped. I think it looks pretty good. It might be rare on the inside, but I think it's well done.
There's an episode of The Office where Meredith grabs Angela's hand sanitizer, squirts it in her hand, and licks it.
They just used watered down clear gelatin.
All right, let's give it a try. Looks good. Tastes good. You gotta add sugar for flavor. If you didn't, it would be bland sanitizer.
Not many actors want to eat cockroaches, so we'll make fake ones that are edible. I took a plastic roach, cut off the arms and legs, and made a mold out of it. I used dark melting chocolate to make the body. Then I grabbed the Sugar Daddy, which is just a hard caramel, to make the legs and antenna. Then I colored them with markers. I stuck it all together, shined it up with some olive oil, and I think it turned out pretty good. It's a chalk roach.
Do you guys remember this?
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. And it will take me no longer than 1 day.
What about this?
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment. And your men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have our military equipment, if you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks. I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful. What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. You're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out.
How about this?
He's always looking to purchase missiles, you know. He's against, listen, when you start a war, you got to know that you can win the war, right? You don't start a war against somebody that's 20 times your size and then hope that people give you some missiles. If we didn't give them what we gave, remember, I gave them javelins.
Do you think Russia's playing you?
No, nobody's playing me. And I know when people are playing us, and I know when they're not. Nobody's playing anybody. We are going to see if we can get it done. I think we have a really good chance of getting it done, and it's coming to a head right now.
Well, he spoke today. Here's how it went.
What Putin's doing, he's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
President, what do you want to do about
And
that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you? You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake. I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. He's killing people. And something happened to this guy, and I don't like it.
Well, this English Rants King is very hilarious, but I really find him to be full of good vibes. As you are watching the videos, I've realized that I was busy munching on my piece of sugarcane here. Some people in other places in English Rants are busy munching and consuming fake meat, like what you've just seen in that video there. Did you see it? Good vibe sauce. Imagine all that meat in those buckets was fake meat. Pork! It was pork. I thought it was fake. My friends tell me it was pork meat. Oh, now it is even more sad. All those animals, my friends, they were sacrificed for that. Wow, it's quite saddening. You see, my friend keeps on asking me a certain question, which I'd like to share with you. Maybe you, my friend, can have the answer to it. If there is so much meat consumed daily, you see, in butcheries across the whole world and different places, how many cows are there in the world? And how long does it take a cow to grow from a calf to a full-aged cow that is able to be consumed? Do you think the ratio of the cows and number of animals in the world is equal to how people consume the meat? Does it make sense? You see, the number of cows, for how long can they sustain humanity? The meat never ends in butcheries and cows never ends in the sheds. And from this side of the world, I can't even remember the last time I saw someone sacrifice their cow. It takes quite some time, or maybe a very big event. I don't know where you get those cows. Anyway, it's fun seeing interesting stuff from other lovely humans. I hope you are enjoying the show. What's coming up, my friend? This is just a tip of the iceberg. What you've just seen. There's even more incredible stuff coming up. Please don't miss out. Watch till the end and hit that like button. Leave your comments too so that we can spread love together. Let's continue watching.
This is nuts. People are using pregnancy tests as Plan B pills. You heard that right. People are finding Plan B pills inside of their pregnancy test.
Okay, so it looks like this is the right stuff. I just got in my car and I have the Plan B. Okay, check this out. Okay, see if this is real. Okay, looks legit. Feels really light. Okay, we're gonna open this puppy up. Oh my gosh! I knew it. Guys, I knew it.
So that's a moisture absorbing tablet, very much like the ones you get in a new coat or new shoes. Please do not eat it. It's not Plan B. And if you eat it, call your doctor, please.
So I did a video that illuminated the fact that there were no white people in the Bible. Well, some of y'all got really upset, like this guy. First of all, for everybody who left an angry comment, thank you. The comments really helped bump the algorithm. The video kind of blew up. What was my point? 1, the concept of whiteness didn't exist until about the 16th century. So nobody in the Bible was perceived as white, nor would they have perceived themselves as white, regardless of the shade of their skin. The concept literally didn't exist. 2, for all of you who said, what about the Romans? Well, the Romans, what's a Roman? The Roman Empire extended from Scotland all the way to the Nile. They were literally every color under the sun, but they also had a lot of folks mixed in from North Africa and the Middle East that became the Southern Italians, still not what we would traditionally call white under our current perception. And 3rd, I was attempting to point out the irony behind the fact that the Bible has been used to justify race-based slavery and white supremacy over the years, despite the fact there's no white people in the Bible.
This is a demonstration of something called the diving reflex, and I'm going to explain how you can use it in your everyday life. Listen to that beeping. That's his heart rate. He's going to submerge his face in cold water, and let's see what happens.
Look, what? Look at it. There you go.
goes. Oh, shit.
Watch and listen.
Oh my god. What? Holy shit.
Let's go.
Jesus Christ.
So there it goes. Just like that, the heart rate slowed dramatically. This is why if you're feeling anxious or feel like your heart is racing, you can take an ice pack and put it on your face or neck to help slow down your heart rate and calm the anxiety symptoms.
I just heard someone say no one will ever love you exactly how you want because that's your job.
If we get 500 millimeters of rain, does that mean 500 millimeters of water on the ground? If that's what you're thinking, no.
Rainfall is measured using an unbelievably simple instrument called a rain gauge.
Essentially a funnel that collects rainwater into a cylinder. Rain falls in over a period of time, and then the height of the water in millimeters becomes the rainfall measurement. The BOM uses simple rain gauges like this, as well as schmancier automatic ones. And that's how they've been measuring the intense rainfall in New South Wales. Last week, there was over 500 millimeters of rain, and that's what was in the rain gauge. But depending on the landscape where the rain falls, that translated to much higher water levels.
The best way to hide something is to not hide it at all. So we're in Plaza Castilla right now in Madrid, and it's really cool because people walk by this every single day and they don't know because they don't see the hidden Masonic symbolism here. So it's actually really cool. So in the first temple period, King Solomon, David's son, he was instructed to build 2 columns outside the temple, Boaz and Hakim, okay? To this day, every single Masonic temple is required to have 2 columns outside the entrance. Now, if you're a city of consequence, you will have obelisks, right? Now, the thing you're supposed to do with obelisks is you're supposed to have them situated on top of 2 intersecting circles, or known as a Vesica Pisces. Why? Because the Vesica Pisces looks like a gyat, like the front end of a gyat, right? So it's a sex symbol. It's basically telling you this is the birth of something. Now, you have the birth of something, you have the entrance to something, right? So what is that behind this? This is the business district of Madrid. So it's telling you they're open for business. It's really cool. Another thing, very Masonic, you will see checkered patterns, black and white. So I'm going to jump as high as I can right now and show you something.